Hey guys,
Hi.
it's Pastor Andrew and Pastor Julie as we are waiting to go in and get food today. So this is one of those ministry now moments. This is an opportunity that has arose. So we jumped on it, and hopefully this will be a venue that we can get food from this point forward. It looks like it'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday if this pans out. So this is the actual food line that we're sitting in. I'm going to flip the camera around so you can kind of see, and then as we get closer, then we'll share with you what we're doing there and what to expect if you guys choose to come down here yourselves. We are sitting in the line still for the food pantry. We have been in the food pantry line in St. Joe now for about 45 minutes, and we are still in the street, even beyond getting into the mall parking lot. You know, I could only imagine the frustrations that people are facing if they are dependent upon these food lines and the anxieties that they're facing. Because let me flip this camera around really quick. This food pantry is supposed to be over at 6 o'clock. You can notice the time. You can notice the food pantry line. We came down here, Julie and I came down here to check out what this could mean for our church and our communities. So both of our churches and our communities, Westboro, Tarkio, and Fairfax. Tonight we're picking up for Fairfax, if we're able to pick up. So that means, oh, we're moving forward a little bit, but that means if people are coming up here, this will be available Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But if people are coming up here and they are dependent upon this, the frustration, the anxiety, the fear of maybe not feeding their family for the night, these are the realities that people are facing right now, with food costs that have gone up, with things that are going to be going to have the line of distribution broken. We don't even know which ones of those are. So I think that this hopefully will become a ministry that can calm people's anxieties, because as we pick up the food and bring it back to Fairfax, maybe we can start distributing it and offsetting some of the pain of cost. So this line today is supposed to be a farm to table ministry. It is put on by the Foursquare Church, and then we as the United Methodists are coming in and taking or becoming part of the ministry to take it back to our communities and distribute the food that they've procured for us. So it is just the beautiful ways in which people are working together, finding solutions to the problems that are at hand, and actually coming up with tangible, real life, applicable answers to the gospel call to do no harm and to love our neighbor. So we are just excited about the possibilities of what we can do in the midst of this. So I pray that as we go on, that you guys will start videotaping life in a ministry as well. So life or ministry today. So film yourselves and just a really quick blurb that says, hey, this is ministry today. This is what we're doing today. I plan on filming whenever I go do visits, whenever I go and do things for the community, for the church, for any purpose that we're doing ministry right now. If it's outside of the church, because it's not about the church. It's about us being the body of Christ in the world. And so that is what we need to focus on. Okay, guys. We are back at the parsonage after our trip, and I would have to say that our trip was, it was successful in the way that we ended up with food. Ended up with 2 food boxes of fresh produce and some milk and some creamer. But we added it up. There was about $35 worth of stuff in those 2 boxes, which is extremely generous of that organization to be taking care of the folks of St. Joe. But for a vital ministry for us as a reasonable resource to go down there as a community and pick that up, I don't think that was very viable. It ended up being about 4 hours. So 2 hours of drive time, 1 hour down, 1 hour back, and 2 hours of sitting in line and not knowing if we would even get any produce or anything. And so it was actually a great eye-opening moment, because as you guys have seen the line, as you guys saw, I didn't actually get anybody getting out of their cars and looking around, I don't think. But if I did, that's what they were doing, because they were desperate. They were looking to find a solution. And if we break that down, we look at this a lot of times as that we are simply handing stuff out to people in need. But let's break it down. If there's $35 worth of produce in 2 boxes that we picked up, we spent 4 hours going down and picking that food up. Divide the 35 by 4, and that would be the average wage, basically, that each person, our brothers and sisters in Christ, are being paid to sit in that line. So if we look at that, they are getting paid right around minimum wage. And that is time that they can't spend with their families. That's time that they can't spend in jobs working, because they have to go and sit in this line for their food. So how can we come up with feasible solutions for our community so that we don't run into these problems? And as we are finding ministries, if you are finding vital ministries that are working, that can work for our church and our communities, please let me know. And it's not the fact that we want to go in and reinvent the wheel, but if we find something that's working, how can we assist and build on that so that it can become even more successful, and that every single person is helped equally across the board without them having to give up their dignity, give up their security, give up their safety. In these instances, they have to come out of their homes, right? So how can we assist people in this moment in our history as a church and in our ministry? That is the question I want to leave on your heart today, because that is ministry today.